How are things going? What's how's everything going for you over there since spring ball ended?
Things are great. We're getting a lot of time to study next year's opponents and study ourselves. Players are gone, which is always a little weird because the place just feels different when they're not around. But they don't get that much time off, so it's good for them to get time off. And we're not on the road recruiting, which we'd all like to be, and hopefully that's over with now because things will open up in June. But it's relatively low key right now and just a good time to study.
Yeah, a couple of. I know you guys are looking at Missouri State and Tulsa and Boise State, especially the non-conference opponents. I've had a couple of friends of mine that are sideline reporters that say, "Hey, Robert, you got to get ready for Boise because just in case you're wondering, working on that blue turf, it will weird you out." So I've scoped out a couple of places that have bright blue carpet, and I just go walk around those places and just try and get used to it. So I'm getting ready too, Coach.
Well, yeah. You need that practice because I'm sure it's all important. Every little bit counts.
All right, let's talk about spring because one of the things Coach Gundy hammered was you guys were able to get in a lot of reps, a lot of 11 on 11 reps. Uh, I know it was thud tempo. You weren't trying to get anybody hurt, but because of the added depth, the added numbers this spring, you were able to get. I know you had some guys missing, the Trace Fords and Brock Martins and Devin Harper's, guys that weren't going full speed because they're still rehabbing. But you had some young guys too, Nathan Latu and Colin Oliver that came in, and some of the young guys in the secondary. That those reps are unbelievable for you, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean when going against our offense, who they're always going to challenge you, and you can't uh, buy full 11 on 11 reps in terms of the importance that it places on the development of a young player. I mean, there's only so much you can do in film study and individual drills, and getting out there and playing the game at the speed of the game, so important. I look at the linebackers with Cam and Dizadair and Mason Cobb and the incoming freshman Nick Martin. I mean, tons of. I couldn't tell. I mean, I don't know, 600, 700, something ridiculous of team reps, and then like you said, Colin Oliver, he really jumped out, and we're missing all. Trace was out, Brock was out, Irby was out, so Colin Oliver really got a chance to play. And these are, you take him and you take Nick Martin and freshmen who should still be in high school, going to the senior prom, and they're out there getting 500 team reps over the course of the spring. And what a great advantage that is for them.
Yeah. The other thing too, this quote from you the first day of spring football resonated with me. You cannot take your participation in this defense to the next level until you can teach it. When you can teach this defense, then you can go to almost like a graduate level in executing and running it.
You're right. I mean, that's we do all kinds of things to encourage our guys to learn, the big picture with game shows that we have, and we try to have some fun with the kids. But when you have veteran safeties, Trey and Colby, Tanner, Thomas, guys who have been around, and now all of a sudden they can stand back with me and they can tell me what's going on, and they can be on the sideline, talking to the young guys. I mean, it's one thing to talk to them and encourage the young guys. It's another thing to specifically say, hey, against this formation, when you see this, here's what you need to do. That's teaching. That's actual, and that's making them better, because when they see something they have a question about, they're able to come to me, and it puts us two steps ahead instead of always trying to play catch up.
Yeah, another thing too is in your defense, the corners are so critical. I mean, it's not that they have to be able to do a multiple amount of things. It's great if they're good blitzers because then you can blitz off the corner some, but they darn sure have to be able to cover. You got a couple of veteran guys in Jarek and Christian who's sticking around. I loved his comment after the spring game. He said, "Hey, you know what? Hey, you got to love this to come back as a 6-year player with off season and summer conditioning and all that stuff. You got to love this because nobody does that for fun." And he goes, you know, and he was open. He said, "I need another year maybe to prove that I can play this game and make some money." So he wasn't fudging on it. But you've got those two guys, and then we've seen two younger guys in Corey and Jabbar step up. Hopefully, you got some more guys over there. In fact, I think I saw a walk on kind of flash some stuff. The kid from Whitehall kind of impressed me from Arkansas, and I can't think of his name right now. But how do you feel about the corner position?
Christian Holmes, he is a guy that we really need. We needed him to come back, and we need him to step up because he has so much potential. He's got to put it all together, and he's serious about his craft now, and he's really becoming an integral part of the defense. We need him to get better. Jarek, you know, we call him Amazon because he always delivers. I mean, he's just a guy that what he's played. He's started every game I've been here, right? I mean, he's yeah. So you're talking about a 4-year starter who's going to be a consistent force for us. But I like those young guys. Corey Black, man, he's a good looking player, and he has all the tools. And Jabbar is a heads up guy. Really plays above his size. And don't forget about DeMarco too. I mean, DeMarco. They're all three of those guys in that crowd.
You got Jordan Reagan over there
Jordan
too.
Reagan, yeah, is another. I mean,
the walk-on kid that I saw, he made some picks and stuff. Is Deshaun Buckner, and he made some. And I'm like, who? I had to look it up. Who is the heck is this guy? And here's the fun thing: when he makes an interception, he has the ability to make sure everybody in the building knows who got the interception. He kind of draws things to himself a little bit, but
Buck came out. That's spring, right? That's a chance for a walk-on guy to really jump out and impress someone, and he did. He made some plays. Not to flip positions, but the two walk-ons who really had a great spring with all of our Leos out were Ben and Jake.
Yeah.
I mean, really, because they got a chance to get a lot of plays. Because all three of our Leos, which is, that's the name of our position. That's really a cool position, and we moved that guy around. And Jordan played that, and Brock and Trace last year, and they'll play it again. But with that, they were out, and Irby was out. Ben and Jake, really, really impressive.
Well, here's another one too, and he had a pretty good game in the spring game, and he made a few plays. Constantino Borelli at linebacker, and he's from St. John Bosco, which is a pretty good athletic high school back in the East for people who know that. But yeah, you got to love a linebacker walk-on named Constantino. I can dig that.
Yeah, that's my background. Robert, I'm from Philly, so Philly, Jersey. My mother's maiden name was Moretti. So I mean, it's all those vowels, those name that ends in vowels. That's East Coast. So, yeah, it was good to see him come out and make some plays.
So again, now, what's the goal this summer with blending back Trace and getting those guys? Devin's going to be key, and I don't know how much you pay attention to the analytics, but throughout Devin's career, every time he's had a chance to play consistently, the analytic people go nuts over him. Like his first year, he was like, he got in. I think that's the year he got an interception against somebody and returned it for a touchdown, maybe a non-conference game. But at the end of the half season, he was like all Big 12 just based on analytics. Now you can't base everything on analytics, but at least that shows when he plays, he produces numbers.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned that because that's the way it always seems with Devin Harper. Is he is a playmaker, and um, he just needs to develop the consistency of performance that coaches like to see. But
Right.
I mean, fans and analytics people, I mean, they see the numbers, they see the plays, and I think we need to see more of that. But we've always thought Devin had the
Sure.
chance to really be an exceptional player. So uh, thankfully he's coming back and he gets his chance to shine full time. But I don't see us losing a beat. We're going to miss Amon, but with Devin and Malcolm back, I mean, I think we're going to be right on top of it.
All right, two more things, and we'll let you get some barbecue or whatever you're going to grab. Um, Defensive line. We haven't really talked about the interior guys in there, and that's another area that I love about this defense because I love, Israel Antwine. I love Sione C, Brendan Evers. I mean, you've got some solid guys in there, and we still haven't seen the transfer from Arkansas, Colin Clay, because he's had various injuries. But then the return of Jaden Jernigan this spring, which I thought was huge. So, I mean, that's another area I like what those guys are doing for the team. They don't always, for instance, in the spring game. Brendan got some plays spilled to him, and he was over on the sideline. Hey, man, did you see my sack? And I looked over and said, did you see what Sione did to help you out? He goes, oh, yeah, I see that all the time. But you got some good teamwork going on with the inside technique guys.
Yeah, I think there's been truly a development. Hats off to Joe, Bob, and G. Rich, the coaches. There's been a development of our inside positions that hopefully will take us to another level. I mean, you forget how many plays Jernigan made as a true freshman. You go back and watch that film, and undersized guy, but he raises a lot of hell in there, and to see him back is just we missed him. Uh, I love what Brendan Evers does and what he brings to the team. Sione, don't forget about Samuela, Israel and Antwine. He can be dominant. He can be dominant. He when he hits you, when he strikes you, he knocks people back. So I think we have a chance to be extremely productive and stout inside. Which you got to be strong up the middle, and looking to take that to another level. We got guys coming back with plenty of experience.
Yeah, and one of the best plays of last season, they remember Jason Taylor's long return on the touchdown, but the guy who forced that fumble inside and popped that ball loose was Israel Antwine.
Yeah.
So
It's funny you mentioned that. I was just watching that play this morning. Yeah, and it was a heck of a play by Israel, and I think he's got a chance to take his game to another level.
all right, again, camps. We're gonna have camps again. We're gonna have now. You guys won't go on the road this summer, but you'll have visitors coming in, the kids and the recruiting. Um, and then after that, a little time, hopefully to recharge. You got any special plans for the recharge time before we get back to
Yeah,
the
no,
grind?
no half marathon this year because COVID took that away. But you know, I'll get around the country a little bit, but it's really we're installing all summer long
Okay,
because
you can do more stuff.
yeah, we can.
Yeah.
Right, the players are here. We have time with them. Even if it's just an hour a week, I think is the allotment. It's not a lot, but we can install all summer long.
When you got
Do a
plenty of
different,
coaches out there.
yeah, coaches and graduate assistants, and we're all versed in this defense. We're all speaking the same language, so we're going to keep teaching all summer long. Every chance we get, we want to get better every day, and then players know that. Whenever I say get better, they respond every day, and we're headed to be one of the best defenses in the country.
I'm looking forward to it. And again, it was fun to watch last year, and with all these guys coming back, I know it's going to be fun to watch again this next year. So.